We're going to continue our discussion on slope and formalize it a little bit here. We discussed it with the diagram. It's the rise over the run. We've used all the lingo so far. So what we want to look at now is how do we actually calculate it if we're just given points and we're not able to graph it. There's a formula. The formula is M, which will stand for slope. And if you ask me why, I have no clue. But it's M. That's what stands for slope. Equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That is the formula you will see for slope. The order of subtraction is important. Now, when we have 2 points, we can pick with either one. We want to label 1 or 2, but we plug them in this formula. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. We must have the same order of subtraction. What that means is we can't do 1 minus 2 in the top and 2 minus 1 in the bottom. We'll see all those examples here in the next couple of slides. So if we look here, we have a couple of different types of slope. We have positive slope and zero slope for these ones. And how do we know that? Well, let's go through with our formula. Remember our formula. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now, it doesn't matter which one's 1 or 2. Typically, what I do is the first one is my 1, x1, y1, and my second one is 2, just because it's written second. X1, y1, x2, y2. And we make our substitution. Y2 is 4. Y1 is 2. So we have 4 minus 2. X2 is 3. X1 is negative 2. Minus the negative will become plus the positive down there. So we end up with 2 over 5. That's a slope. It is very important to keep it as a fraction, especially if you go into graphing things using slope as the rise and the run. The fraction really helps us out with that. But hopefully we can see that's positive. Positive slopes go up like that on a graph. And we'll see that here in a second. Zero slopes. Again, let's do M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Label our points, x1, y1, x2, y2, and calculate. We have 2 as y2, we have 2 as y1, so we have 2 minus 2. X2 is 3, x1 is negative 1. 2 minus 2 is 0. Minus the negative becomes plus the positive over 4. 0 over 4 is 0. That is 0. 0 is a number, that's okay. This is a horizontal slope. It's a horizontal line when we have zero slope. So there's a couple of examples of positive and zero and how we calculate the slope. A couple more here. We have negative slope and we have slope that's undefined. So let's take a look at the negative first. X1, y1, x2, y2. So we go to our formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. y2 I have negative 3, y1 I have 0. x2 I have 3, x1 I have 0. I end up with negative 3 over positive 3. That is negative 1. A negative slope will go down like that from left to right. And we'll see those here again, like I said, in a second. Undefined slope. Formula is still the same. We just end up with a different type of answer here. Y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Y2 is 1. Y1 is 4. So we have 1 minus 4, and then both x2 and x1 are both 2. We end up with negative 3 over 0. Well, you know, we cannot divide by 0. It's undefined, so our slope here is undefined. And again, this is a vertical line, straight up and down. We'll have 0 slope because there's no run. If you notice, if you go back to our graph on a vertical line, there's no run. There is just rise. There's no rise, nothing but rise, and there's no run. It's undefined. That's all we have for tonight. We'll take a look at these again tomorrow during class. Have a great night.